Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. So today me and Highlander met up and were able to play another game. Highlander has beaten me twice here, so let's see if I can get revenge on for the third time. Looking at the opening hand, Helion, Saturn, both kind of mid-tier corpse for me. But I lean towards Saturn in this instance, and that's because Beam from a Thorium Asteroid is in the opening hand, and being able to play this very early on Gen 1 is pretty well, can't play Gen 1. Gen 2 is pretty strong, and the Jovian tag enables that synergy and gives me 1 MC as well. So I think you choose Saturn in this instance. I also have a very deadly combo of Hired Raiders and Sabotage, and I go first. So that means I can instantly say, yeah, you lose 10 money. Good luck. And losing 10 money is just brutal when it comes to your opening cash. So very strong combo here. And then I can't complain about having viral enhancers and Arctic algae. Very strong. Optimal arrow braking, very strong. Imported nitrogen is pretty good as well. In this instance, though, I don't have any of the supporting cards for it yet, though I hope to find them eventually. But I also have a very expensive play, and this is pretty expensive as well. And so even though I have a synergy and optimal and imported nitrogen, I kind of lean towards it not quite being good enough to take when I want to open up with Beam, Viral, and Algae as the three key cards here. So we take those 6. And Highlander's Eco line. Okay. Well, you kind of hate to see that because playing Heat kind of helps out Eco line, but I mean, this is my strategy, and I don't think I should deviate from it. The good news is Eco line starts a little poor, so I can just immediately knock off 10 cash, and hard for him to do much with 8 cash. So that's pretty brutal. And I just pass because I want to play Beam. Protected Valley is interesting with viral enhancers, but I think you have to take Olympus Conference this early on because that's also good with viral enhancers. Then of these cards, I think Birds is the one that matters the most because Ecoline is in the game. I have viral enhancers, and Arctic Algae can also help move the oxygen track along faster. So semi-regretting the imported nitrogen pass, but I think it's still correct. Martian Rails, as funny as it is, isn't very good, so urbanized area. And I don't think that at this point there's going to be that many cities in the game, so I think urbanized area is a bit of a card you shouldn't speculate on when you already have a lot of expensive plays, so you should try and be a little lean with your approach. So just Olympus and Birds for me here. Highlander, it likes 1 card. And this thing is doing it again. I don't know what I have to do to make it easy so it sticks and remembers to do it on the side to make it easier for you guys to see. Alright. There we go. So he opens with Research Outpost. Brutal. You hate to see opening with -1 to all cards like that. And gets the conversion. Well, it tells me he doesn't have mining area, so that's some valuable information to know. So I just play the Beam. I think it's still in my best interest to go ahead and get it down. It leaves me unable to play Viral and Arctic Algae, so I'm just going to have to pass and hope he doesn't get any good oceans down. But he passes too, and so on to the next one. Yeah, these cards aren't great. I think I take Adapted Lichen because I look at his heat production and see 0, and I think I don't really want Ecoline to get Adapted Lichen down early. Grass can enable some conversions later on, yes, but I think Adapted Lichen can just give Ecoline an extra 4 or 5 plants over grass, and so I'd rather just not give that to him. Plus it could enable an early NRA as well if he has that, so I take Adapted Lichen here, and I think it's right. So these are 3 interesting cards. I think in this situation you have to reason that there's no way that Highlander as Ecoline when his opponent is Saturn is ever going to want to play Vesta Shipyard. I currently have no titanium dumps in my hand, and I think Highlander is very interested in playing Cupola City. So I have power as well, and Arctic Algae and Viral Enhancers, so I'm a little interested in Cupola City as well. So I think you take Cupola City here. And so he takes Grass, which is expected. I think Eos is the card to take there. Again, just eliminating plant tags. I don't really see a line for him to have Physics Complex be scary. And I think you take Adapted Lichen and Cupola. I want birds to come online faster. I have Viral Enhancers synergy. I could find NRA, perhaps. And I think it just makes some sense here. Rover construction's a little interesting, but again, I'm not so certain that we're spamming cities at this point in the game. And I just play Arctic Algae, so you guys might be saying, Thread, what the heck? You have Viral Enhancers, and yes, I understand, but Highlander is going to be at 5 plants next generation, which means it's relatively likely that he would consider an SP Ocean to convert. And so if I don't have the Arctic Algae down, that means I'm missing out on 2 plants, and I don't want to do that. And so it's really the question of, do I want to do Viral Enhancers for 1 plant, or would I rather wait and get the Olympus synergy with Viral Enhancers? Because I can't do all 3, right? I have 15 cash remaining, there's 19 here. So I make the call of just do the Viral for now, not Viral, do the Arctic Algae for now, and then later on, when I have more money, we can go Olympus Viral Adapted. And I think that's correct. And he plays Lunar Beam. So I looked at his hand. He had Lunar Beam in Gen 2. I'm sorry, Gen 1, but he couldn't play it because of my sabotage, so that was pretty funny. These cards don't really matter. I think Sponsors is the best card, and it's still playable. And then I get Kelp Farming. So, uh-oh, Spaghetti-O should be the word that is coming to your mind right now. What on earth did he take over Kelp Farming? So it means he has a power card. I don't know if it's Mars U, if it's AI Central, if it's Earth Catapult, Giant Ice Asteroid, Deimos. One of those cards was likely just picked up, and so I'm in trouble seeing this, but you gotta take it. Phobos versus Solar Power. I'm gonna just say Solar Power is better for him. It's builder card potentially. I don't think Phobos is that good for either of us right now. And Fuel Factory comes back. I find that a little interesting. He took the biomass, but it makes enough sense. He doesn't want his plant prod being hit. But I think Fuel Factory is actually okay in this position. I already have the power. It's a building tag. I can just be saving up the minerals. So I buy 3 here, just not solar power. It's too expensive. He plays Nuke Zone, so Ecoline's getting all of its dreams answered right now. It's got the quick TR, it's got global discounts, it's got heat prod, plant prod. Life's good for him right now. And he converts next to Noctis, so that's not saying anything just yet. He could be preparing to do an Ocean Walk, but something to think about when I'm doing my placements. I go and take the Heat Ray since he was nice enough to raise it for the Nuke Zone there, and play Sponsors and Fuel Factory. Alright, so Flooding is progress towards Kelp and can get me 2 cards, so that's valuable. But Tech Demo, when I already have Optimal Arrow Breaking and Olympus Conference, I think is too good. So I think I'm supposed to take that here. These are interesting. I don't have steel production though, and he's probably never getting steel production. So I think Space Elevator is a bit out of the way, whereas Earth Office is just already, fine. And if I find some more Earth cards, it's more of a discount. So I think you take Earth Office here. And then he takes Flooding, so I need to be prepared to get flooded if I ever place a tile next to an ocean. So I'm going to take Trees. And I think with Viral Enhancers and the heat in the game already being relatively high, you're supposed to take Trees in this position. So I buy those 3. Go ahead and play the Earth Office in the Olympus Conference. He plays Earth Catapult. Okay, so that was probably what he found when he passed the kelp farming to me. So that answers that question. Then he plays Invention Contest. Must be nice. So now we do viral enhancers, draw the card, see what we get. We get mining area. Dang it. That would have been nice with that space elevator. Could have plopped it down, gotten the steel, and then used space elevator cells. So unfortunate, but eh. Can't anticipate getting a cheap steel immediately after. I go ahead and play the optimal air braking to play the tech demo just to see what my options are here. Not good. Underground detonations and energy saving. That is some hot garbo right there. Should have taken the flooding. But now that I have viral down, I can go ahead and play adapted lichen. And then this is an interesting pack here. I think you have to take Arky. Arky is a little bit cheaper. Nitro Moss is still a ways away. It's also a microbe tag, which Highlander does not have at the moment, so it helps with playing around advanced ecosystems. So you take Arky there. And then, ooh, now this is very interesting. I can play Electro Catapult, but I could also play this Methane from Titan, which this card is a meme. Every time you see this card, you go, "Oh, it's so good," and then it's never good. But here, it could actually be good. I can afford to play it. We're already at 2% oxygen. I have Heat Prod. I have Plant Prod. I'm Saturn, so it's an MC Prod as well. And Electrocat just doesn't seem that good for either of us. Not to say it's bad. I just think that Methane from Titan does a little more. So I think Methane from Titan is what I should pick here. End of the day, I think Electrocat is also defendable. But it just feels like this kind of synergizes with everything else I'm trying to do more than Electrocat does. And then I think mag field generators is scary if he gets 4 power, but it's unlikely he's going to get 4 power. And if he does, then he'd probably rather play the Ironworks anyway, so I just take the Ironworks. I don't think either matters. And I get Electrocat back, so that's a little interesting to me. He took the fuel generators over Electrocat. So in this position, I think I probably should have bought Electrocat. At least I should have thought about it a lot. But here's the problem, is if I take Electrocat, I can't actually afford to play it and Methane. So it's the question of, and I have to sell plants too. Do I want to sell plants and delay 2 plants and 2 heat? Or do I just skip it and go Methane and Arky and just get the extra prod? So I'd elect to skip it. I think maybe I should have kept it in retrospect, but I think this is fine as well because it does let me play Methane here. So he just converts, Gardener's his. I go ahead and just raise the heat. I argue that if he was going to blow up my plants, he'd already done so it's safe to just raise heat. He raises heat as well, so now Arky is under threat, so I need to play the Arky. And then I go ahead and play the Methane as well. So I played it the gen I bought it. That's why I think that Methane is actually good here, despite the memes. And that gets me up to 4 plant prods, so I get an immediate conversion next gen, and I think that's pretty nice. Energy tapping here would be really annoying, so I think you have to take the energy tapping. I could tap him. And anti-grav. So anti-grav, if I find the science, is incredible, obviously, but what's the chances of me finding the science? I don't know, but I think you're supposed to take it as the cut there. In here, I'm like, I could take it, I could not, I don't know. And I eventually decide to take peroxide and anti-grav on the speculation. And I skip the energy tapping. Certainly I could have considered the energy tapping here, but my reasoning was I didn't really want to get the negative point on it. Peroxide power just gives me a building tag with it as well, and it's kind of looking like builder might be a line I need to go to get a milestone here. I go ahead and convert here so I can just mining area and grab the steel prod. I still don't really have a good titanium target right now, so I figure I'll just diversify a little bit here. He plays media group and flooding, so yeah, that's the downside of the mining area. He immediately floods me. I said we had to keep that in mind, but hey, it gets me some plants at least. And then I decided to go and play Cupola. Now, you know from my past videos, I really value diversification, so I put my tiles up here. So now I would like to go down here so I can have access to all of this stuff. So I think the natural spot is to put the city right here and just reserve that real estate. So Highlander plays GHG Bacteria. That's pretty good. And we're done. Alright. You gotta take Herbies here, I think. Oxygen's going up pretty quick. We both have pretty good production, so Herbies is just some good points. Mine is interesting. Fusion power is actually interesting too with the peroxide power. I take mineral deposit, and I'm happy to get whichever of these comes back. And then this is a tricky one for me. Ultimately, it is the Olympus Conference value and the anti-grav that convinced me to go designed over power plant, but you could certainly justify power plant as well. And I get mine back, and I think it makes sense to take mine here because now I'm looking at having 6 builder tags, so that means that builder is more of a reality for me now. Highlander doesn't really like his draft though; he just gets 1. I think if he had wanted to, he probably could have been a little more aggressive on Planner, and then I'm just kind of locked out of every milestone. I don't have a path to Terraformer. I don't have a path to Planner if he takes Planner. And, Builder is possible, but I think he might get Terraformer and Planner first. But anyway. But he opens up with Giant Ice Asteroid, of course, just like the last time I played against him. Has perfect card at the perfect time to blow up my plants. Very frustrating. At least with Arctic Algae, I get 4 of them back, so it's not as brutal as it could have been, but still very good. At minus 14, I think he could have noticed in the draft that if he raised heat, it'd make it so I can't play design microorganisms. So I think that was a slight inaccuracy on his part. So now I can play the card because he chose to convert the plants instead of raising the heat. So I do that. I get pets. Okay, pets is not bad. Certainly with Earth Office, it makes it a lot better. And viral enhancers too. And then I fund Miner. Already, this game's looking extremely bad. My Ecoline opponent has gotten Gardener, has reasonable heat and plant prod, and just played Giant Ice Asteroid on me and blew up all my plants. So already looking like if I continue rushing this game, I'm a dead man. So I have to find a way to fight alternatively for points, and taking an award for 8 is probably the best way. I already have 3 production. Sabo and Raiders was played at the beginning of the game. Mineral Deposit is here. There's really no way to get burst minerals anymore. So that's why I feel very confident in just funding Miner here and saying, I got the 8 fund. He plays Land Claim, blocking off my 6 pocket. Very rude, though we did know he took it just now. Then he plays the Eco Zone. Are you kidding me, Highlander? GIA and Eco Zone? Like what is this? Minus 3 to all cards, media group, Eco Zone, GHG. It's not fair. Anyway. So yeah, this city's kind of garbage now. Now that he took all my rebates from me. Not cool, but it's a good play on his part. I sell the Underground Debts and Energy Saving. They're not good cards. I'd rather go ahead and get the mine production here. So I just go ahead and play that. Then he raises heat, and I'm praying he doesn't have bushes, and he plays moss. Goes well with his Eco Zone. So I don't raise my heat here because I'm afraid of bushes. So that's why I pass here. He plays grass. We knew we passed that to him. Now he plays that and converts it. Very nice. So now I really am convinced he probably has knocked the city. He's done the greeneries on both sides of it. And it makes some sense to get the ocean rebates, but this sure is kind of screaming I've got knocked the city. which is very unfortunate. And then he has small animals too. Are you kidding me? So there go my plants. And Nitro Moss. We know we passed that one, but like, how can you afford to play all these cards, dude? Having -3 must be really great. So Eco Zone's already 3 points. It's looking bad. It's looking grim. This is a disaster scenario. He already's at 34 TR, so Terraformer's basically his. He even has a mayor threat with Noctis City and another city. So yeah, scary stuff. Um, so knowing that, you can't give him standard technology. That just lets him end the game too efficiently. Though I am passing Underground City to a guy that has 2 energy prod and 7 plant prod and wants the city to come down, and I just funded miners, so that's really, really annoying. I'm very upset that I had to pass him that. Again, I funded miners, so I think you have to take the building industries so that if he takes the Underground City, he can't also get the building industries and then tie me on the miner fund and be a real pain in the neck. So yeah, he took the Underground City, take the Lightning Harvest. It's playable for both of us, but I don't think it's good enough because I have Peroxide Power. Then I get the Radkim back, which I think's a little interesting. It means he took Farming, so okay, he's expecting heat to go up quickly. Does he have Deimos too? That would be unfair, to say the least. Of those, I'm just taking the 2. Radkim, Building Industries, Peroxide Power does get me the 3 tags I need for Builder, so I should be able to get a Milestone. And I don't see my standarding too many things this game at the current rate, so I'm skipping the standard tech. I don't see me doing 3 standard projects anytime soon, and I don't want to have my cash dragged down because I've got some important plays in the building tags and the funding and the herbies and so on. So I just go ahead and do the mineral deposit and play the building industries. I am risking my plants because I don't want to give him the oxygen bonus for free. So he does standard greenery for 4 cash back, makes sense. And then, or rather he pays normally and then does the standard greenery. So he gets the oxygen bonus. The good news is now that lets me do herbies and then I can convert, so that's quite nice. So I go ahead and herbies him. And then go ahead and convert on a card, see what I find. Colonizer Training Camp. Womp womp. A little too late. GHG raises the heat, so we're getting closer to the bonus ocean. Hopefully he doesn't open with a Deimos next gen, because it's kind of looking like it. And he claims Terraformer, so yeah, that's that done. So now I need to get Builder before he can threaten Mayor or Planner. But he's not looking like he can do Planner anytime soon. So I think Builder's pretty safe for me here. Go and play Peroxide Power and Radkim. I could have waited on Radkim with the Steel, but I also need to open up, and I just thought I'd rather not deal with it. He does his small animals. I pass. I don't want to give him an easy Deimos. Asteroid Mining is really nice when I already have 8 titanium, but he can't use it. Whereas Virus hits him and it hits me, so you take the Virus in this position. And this is a little interesting. Inventor's Guild is nice for more card draw. It does kind of work towards the anti-grav, but realistically this game is looking a little dangerous in terms of ending too quickly, and I'm not sure card draw is going to pay off. I have viral enhancers, so I'm just going to take the Noctis farming here. I'd rather not lose power, so Power Supply Consortium makes the most sense. And then Cartel. Cartel's interesting. Looking at these awards, what is it that I can fund? Landlord, I'm getting crushed on, so can't fund Landlord. Scientist, too risky. But Thermalist and Banker are both kind of looking like awards I can fund. So Cartel is, after I play Pets, 5 plus 3, so 8 mega credits for 5 prod. That kind of locks down Banker really nicely. And so I decide I'm going to take the risk on Cartel and see what I can do with it. Problem is, I'm super poor. So he converts and raises heat, so definitely looking like Deimos. I go ahead and convert on the card. I get wave power, not that good. I go ahead and play the pets. I figure if he's going to make a play towards Mayor, I might as well go ahead and get the pets value and maybe get the cartel value as well. GHG raises the heat. Oh, sorry, he does GHG and then raises the heat with an SP asteroid. So he could have big asteroid, but he'd have played it already and blown up my plants if he did, right? Same with Deimos, so I'm gonna wait a little bit on raising the heat. I'm gonna fund Thermalist. I have 35 heat, he has 2, so Thermalist feels pretty safe to me. I also have optimal arrow breaking, so I don't see him being able to swing it with a series of space events. So again, just locking down the awards and really challenging him on that, I think, is the key in this situation. And then I sell a patent just to see what he's going to do. He does an animal and sells a patent as well. So he's at 28, so now 2 SP asteroids will get him the ocean bonus. And let's look at the parameters here. So in this position, what is the lagging parameter? It actually looks like it's oceans, because we both have a lot of oxygen, and I have plenty of heat, but there's really not a lot of oceans. We still are at 6 oceans left in the deck to go, and so seeing the read that I think it's oceans that's lagging and not heat, I'm going to go ahead and just raise the heat and get the bonus TR as opposed to letting him steal it from me. So I go ahead and do that and get the 2 cash. The 2 cash might help me with terms of playing like trees or other things like that. He does play the Noctis City, so now he's kind of threatening Mayor. To be honest, I don't think he can really do it, but he's got -3, and I think that means Immigrant City is like 13, and so if he were to play it down there to get 4 cash back, you know what I'm saying? It's ways that Mayor could get dicey. And so I basically am like, yeah, I don't want to deal with that. I'm just going to go ahead and play Virus to kill off your 5 plants and just claim Builder so I don't have to deal with it. I don't think there's enough cards in my hand to sell to play Trees or Cartel, but I was definitely looking at those as options. I think I probably should have greeted a little bit longer, and then once he passed, I could play Cartel as opposed to claiming Builder, so I think that was a small misplay on my part. Because he now passes. So I go ahead and Noctis Farming, I have the steel for it. And then that lets me go ahead and convert for 2 plants, which now opens me up to get another conversion to open next generation, and just take as much of the oxygen TR from him as I can. Here, again, Miner is something I funded. I don't want to let him have it, so mining rights is the easiest way for him to fight me on Miner. Obviously, Strip Mine exists, but there's no way he's playing Strip Mine. Come on, he's got 1 power, oxygen's about to be maxed out. That's just crazy. I welcome him to play Strip Mine. And then this is interesting. So Asteroid's good, but Towing a Comet's probably better. It lets me take the last of the oxygen O2. And your Asteroid is kind of I already have most of the heat locked up anyway. So I take Towing a Comet here. An Adaptation Tech because Dust Seals is not playable. And just Towing a Comet. I don't think that he can actually... I'm going to get much value from mining rights here. And in my opinion, I really ought to do my best to avoid letting him get the ability to fund Landlord, because that would be really bad if he funded Landlord here. So I just go ahead and convert to get some money back. And I fund Banker. I'm like, alright, YOLO. Funding Banker is always a little dangerous, but with Cartel, I think it's safe enough. And I would rather just not give him a chance for Landlord. So he's locked out a Landlord. I'm looking pretty good on the awards here. So let's see if I can manage to hold off on it. Predators? Oh, come on, dude. How are you finding all of these cards? Insane. Absolutely insane. This is the one card I did not want to see, because now he's always going to be able to be munching on my animals and taking away my points. So very sad. But at least the good news is I can play the birds now, and he won't be able to eat the birds this gen because he ate with the Preds already. So I go ahead and do that. He plays the asteroid and blows up my plants. Yeah, makes some sense. Um, then does small animals. So I remember I had passed him farming a while back. So in my opinion, it makes sense to go ahead and play Towing a Comet. Yes, it puts down an ocean, which is the lagging parameter, but it also gets me the TR instead of him, and I kind of need to take this TR on the heat track so that I get the full value, and he does not. And I go ahead and get the 2 titanium. Even though I don't have a target for it right now, I just feel like it's better to have that locked up as opposed to letting him maybe have like a mangrove or a molehole area and like actually start, or just SP an ocean there, to start fighting me on minor. I don't want to get too contested on that, so that's why I go for the titanium here. And go ahead and play trees. So I'm got my 8 prod to his 4 prod, so not a bad place to be. His GHG bacteria is used, and then he standards an asteroid. I'm not really sure about that move. Yes, it's a 2 TR swing, but -3 and you're standarding asteroids? I don't know about that. But anyway, clear time to take both my heat raises here. Then he plays the farming, so yeah. Kind of, I guess, explains why he might have SP'd 1 asteroid to get to +4 so he can play farming even if I pass, so I get it. And then he converts, gets 4 cash back, makes a lot of sense. I pass, he passes. Alright, I funded Banker, and I see a 5 prod card here, so I'm not going to give him that. And I already have, 18 titanium anyways, so this is like 13. And if oceans are really going to stall out, we're going to evolve into a SP City War here, because neither of us is going to have the capital to just end the game. And so, knowing that neither of us can just end the game, we have to keep doing the most efficient plays we can, which is grabbing real estate with cities, because we both have so little cards in hand. So I think Immigration Shuttles is actually a really good card here. So I take that. And then Worms? Hey, Worms? It's 2 prod. I'll take a 2 prod Worms. Black Polar Dust isn't really that much better than just standarding Ocean, honestly. Titanium Mine, sure, whatever. Keeps him from fighting me on minor. But yeah, I'm going to take Immigration Shuttles and Worms. Seems good. He SPs a city right there, so yeah, as expected. Draws a card. And I'm going to SP a city. And then I'm going to convert between them. I don't remember if there was a commercial district or not, but might as well just play around it. I chose this location because there's 5 steel here. So if he was wanting to be annoying with minor, this is where you'd put the city. So I just want to prevent that from ever happening. I also couldn't remember if I had urbanized area or if he had urbanized area in the draft. Now that I'm doing the review, I remember I had it and cut it, so I don't need to worry about urbanized area. But at the time, I couldn't remember. So that's one of the reasons I converted between my cities here. That and the commercial district. Predators being really annoying. It's a 2-point swing each generation. So I'm down by 4 points right now. But he doesn't look like he has the money to end right now, which is good. And so I'm playing the Emmy Shuttles. Alright, let's go. So we're at 5 cities right now. So it's 1 point. Could be 2 points. He plays Magfield Gent Dome. Like, ugh. I'm surprised he kept and played that card. It seems pretty bad. I'm just going to sell a card and play the Worms. I feel like the plant prod matters more than the MC prod. So that's my logic. Need to score the points where I can. And the Urbies love more plant prod. He plays Heather, goes great with his Eco Zone, which I knew was a possibility, but just think Immigration Shuttles is too good here. So we both pass. Tech Stress is interesting because I can play it, but he can't play it at all. He has 2 titanium, I have 2 titanium. I think Space Station is a more playable point than Tech Stress is, so I take space station here. These cards, none of them matter. Advanced alloys could matter the most because of the science tags, so I take that. But I sure don't have anything to play with my minerals, so useless. Take the power infrastructure just in case he has power and can use it somehow. I don't know. I think it's just space station and just as a kind of point dump more than anything. So what am I doing? I'm SPing cities right now. Yeah. I'm going to say good luck. I'm getting 2 points from my immigrant city and my pet's value as well. I am just going to monopolize all the good real estate. Boom. Your move. I'm basically saying I don't think that you are capable of SPing out 4 oceans and winning with me doing that setup. He does that Predators though, which is so annoying. Oh my goodness. So I convert, just grab minerals so that he can't fight me on it, and then get the cash ready so I can play the cartel here. Also, I take my birds. So he sells, and then plays Toll Station. I don't understand what the point of that move is. You're not beating me on Banker, Highlander, so why are you basically paying 4 cash when you could just sell the card? I think that's a clear mistake. And then, but the fact that he's selling cards and making weird moves makes me think he might be trying to end. So I say, alright, I should sell the wave power then to play the space station. And that way I get every point I can. So I'm up by 4 points. So if he standards 4 oceans, then he's going to be tied with me at 93. And then I would get 2 conversions. He would get 2 conversions. But I get an Urbies and an extra point on my conversion. So I don't think he can actually SP out and end here. But let's see. He does 1 SP Ocean. There's 2 SP Oceans. I pass. He does 3 SP Oceans. Alright, so 13 cash. It shouldn't be enough to end. Then he does Media Archives. And then passes. So let's go back and let's look at the forensics on that. So he did a conversion next to his city that generation when he could have just put it there for 6 more cash back, which is a 2 VP swing, but I think the cash back is relevant. At this point he messaged me and said I was 3 MC off of a win. And I don't think he's correct, but let's do some forensics on it right now. So if he needed 3 MC, so that is if he didn't play that toll station, he would have to SP the ocean, and then he would have to convert for 6 cash back in order to play the advanced ecosystems that he had in hand that he was 3 cash off of affording. So advanced ecosystems is going to bring him up to 95 to my 93. He'd also have another point from the ocean, so it'd be 96 to my 93. But then instead of a greenery next to his city, it'd be a greenery next to my city. So it'd be 96 to 94. And then I would get 2 greeneries, which would be 97, 99. So I think even if he could have ended it, oh, and the Urbies points, so it'd be like 100, right? So I think even if he had done SP Ocean and the ecosystems, I don't think it's enough to win in that position, but it is close. So I don't know, hard to say, but I don't think he had the win despite him saying that he did. But that 3MC Highlander, it's all because of that weird toll station that you played here, so blame it on that. Anyway, so it's Gen 14, a little embarrassing, but that's what happens when Ocean stalls and one person doesn't have a sizable lead. You get into situations like this. Mangrove is just amazing, so thanks, Mangrove. These cards don't matter, but Food Factory is technically a point with my 16 steel, so Food Factory it is. And then these don't matter, so just bribed, I guess. I could take Aquifer Pumping and pump, which would be funny. But I'm of the opinion of I'm going to let him SP it out if he wants to. But in retrospect, I probably could have done Aquifer Pumping and pumped and been okay here. But he standards the ocean on aquifer pumping, so he seems to be confident he's winning here. And then he converts for the plants. I don't really know about that. I think it's probably better to SP for points around here. But I'm going to convert for 6 cash back and just use my birds. He does an SP city here. So I think I should have done an SP city there because it sets me up to play mangrove right there on the 2 steel spot. I didn't do it because I was concerned about urbanized area and that I would set up a 3-point urbanized here for him, which I didn't want to do. Obviously, now having watched the replay, I know that he doesn't have urbanized area, so I think I should have just SP'd the city there. But that's why I didn't. And in my mind, there's still a good spot down here as well, which has 2 adjacencies, so it's not a big deal to not put the city there, in my opinion. So 97-98, very close game. I do an SP city down there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this immigration shuttles is a 3-point card that helped me defend Banker. So I think that's pretty good. I really do think that was a pretty good play. And I go ahead and just convert between my cities there. So he SPs one more city because neither of us have much to do. Which, look at this Pets, by the way. That's a 5-point Pets. Incredible. Pets was super good this game when Ocean stalled out. And then my Urbies even are also a 5-point card. My Birds would be more, but some fat bear has been hibernating for winter. So that's where those points went. But now I play the mangrove there. Go ahead and get the plants, and then I can play the kelp. Be set up for 2 more greeneries. And he does investment loan into advanced ecosystems. So 107 to 104. It's looking like it's my win. Go ahead and convert between my cities. Play the food factory with all my steel. I'm left with 12 cash over, which is a little sloppy, but you can't really help it when you get into these dry card states where neither of you have anything and it's just SPing cities and greeneries. He does small animals, but it's not going to be enough to matter. He converts, I convert for my cash back, get my Urbies point, which, by the way, is now up to 6 points on Urbies. And as the scores are tallied up, I come out with an 8-point win. So, really surprising to be able to beat an eco line with -3 that has good heat prod, good plant prod, eco zone, predators, and all that stuff. I really thought I was dead. I think the most important thing is that I was aggressive on funding awards and made it so that it was never very economically feasible for him to fund the awards. So the early Miner and Thermalist I think were extremely important because if he funds one of those early on, you know, it's a 10-point flip basically, and I think he wins. So aggressive awards are basically required when you know that you're losing a quick game and you're losing on the milestones and board and all that stuff. Also, when you notice that a parameter is the lagging one, like in this case oceans, it's okay to use the heat like I did. I went ahead and just took that TR away from him so that, again, if he'd managed to take all that TR, I think I'm not winning this game. And finally, bio cards are good. Like 6-point herbivores, that's insane. 5-point pets, also insane. And if the game is dragging out such that it is not possible for one of you to end efficiently, in this case like 4 SP Oceans, then SP Cities are really valuable to lock up the terrain. So again, my SP Cities, grabbing this valuable real estate, huge for me. And the fact that I had pets made it even better. And the fact that I had immigration shuttles. This is not a good card, but here it was. It got me 3 VP. and basically paid for itself with the cash prod and let me fund banker much safer. So yeah, all those things work together really nicely to manage to squeeze out the win in this close game. But that's all I had for you guys today. Hopefully now you kind of know how to play against an eco line which has a really strong rush setup like that. And if you guys have anything else you want me to talk about, or any games you want me to review, just give me a heads up. I have a request to show some 3-player games, so if you guys are interested in that, let me know. And I will try and put out a video on that if there is interest. I have one that was submitted that seems like a decent one to talk about. But anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.